Welcome to the Chess Gym Radio Show. We're here as we are every week to offer inspiration, information, ideas, concepts, bringing what we can to you to give you an opportunity to open windows, open doors, to be able to create a difference in your life. So many people looking for answers. We don't claim to have them. We just offer our experience, strength, and hope to be able to share our journey. When I say our, sometimes interviews, sometimes chit chats. Today it's going to be me. We're going to be talking about spiritual freedom. I've spent like over 40 years as a medium, teacher, healer, counselor, inspirational speaker, writer, and a few other things, helping people explore and discover their own truth, spiritual, personal, their purpose, their pathway in life, to really help people connect to what really matters to them, to find their connection and relationship to spirit, to God, their higher purpose, to inspiration. I'm a minister, I'm the pastor of Sarasota Center of Light, and yet this radio show is called Just Jim for a reason. It's really about life. And certainly life as you know it, but life as you don't know it, finding pieces of the puzzle that might help you feel and experience more of what life is meant to be. Our spirit being able to be free. Us being able to experience the freedom that life is as we are that in it. And so when I speak of spiritual freedom, it's really the spirit being free. Don't get confused about philosophy or religion or something like that when I'm saying spiritual. Spiritual is our spirit, our reflection of our love, our light, our peace, our truth, our joy, showing up, our spirit being free and not confined to the reality we believe we have created, this perception and idea of how we think things are. This is the sort of the perceptual garment, this belief that we have that we wear that identifies who we are. Because if you look at your spirit being free, we're all that same light. We're all that same love. We're all that same joy. We're all that same peace. That's where the oneness and unity you hear spoken about in so many different philosophies and religions and disciplines, this where two or more are joined. Well, everybody's joined. Everybody's love, everybody's light, everybody's the reflection of their heart and soul. And everybody reflects that through their own view, their own little world, sometimes very little, sometimes bigger, depends on how much you allow that expansion to occur or that awakening to happen, in whatever way that means to you. How are you today? Do you feel free in the circumstances and the situations that you're living in right now? Does it have you or do you have it? What does that mean? Hold it a minute. Does it have you? Are you living as if reality is just what it is, or, well, that's just the way it is, as Bruce Hornsby speaks about it in his song? Or are you actively aware and present and taking a look at what's going on? It's interesting because, the show is meant for everybody. And yet there are those who might listen to this show, those of you who have no necessarily a spiritual focus or pathway, or maybe there's no religion in your life or no way of seeing things. You're living your life in a very practical way. There are those who may have spent many years, as myself, meditating and connecting and experiencing themselves at different levels and in different ways. It's just a different reflection of life in a different way. And yet, no matter how we're living and what we're seeing or how we're experiencing ourselves, everyone wants to be able to experience freedom within it. We don't want the world to have us. We want to be able to move and breathe more easily in our lives than we even do right now, no matter where we are. So as we make our way, there's this human experience, our heart's desires, the way we want to see ourselves live in the world. There's our spiritual experience, our soul, a little deeper, a little bit more open and expansive. There's our tangible way of living life. We have to make our way through the circumstances and situations and create and manifest our experience. And then we're part of the whole thing. We're part of our family, we're part of our community, we're part of our country, we're part of our world. We don't frequently take our awareness out that far. We usually keep it listening to what our heart has to say, or sometimes our mind, or maybe listening within to our soul. When I say soul, when I say spirit, it's that part of you that you're having that conversation with when nothing else is going on. It's like, it's the part of you that says back to you what really matters. What's next? When we pay attention to it, it can help us be able to find our way a little bit differently, a little bit better, a little more openly. We can look at what we desire or we want. We can create a goal. We can ask for guidance. We can create steps. We can take those steps. Those are ways to make our way through. And yet, one of the ways I see that's very important to simply finding access to what really matters within ourselves that can set us free is our innocence. You see, innocence is simply letting go of our judgment long enough to return to a place that's somewhat childlike. Not childish, but childlike. I like to say I'm a man, so a young boy who's seen a butterfly for the first time, fascinated and curious, pursuing something that he's never seen before, literally chasing it around the backyard to see if he can catch up with it or catch it. We have the opportunity to stop, look, and listen, to hear our heart's whispers, our soul's longings, to get in touch with what matters. And sometimes it's very simple. We may or may not have a relationship in our lives, or some have more friends, some have less, some are very social, some are very involved in their work and their purpose and their expression. It doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. Stopping in any moment and taking a look around and recognizing that the garments of perception or understanding that you've chosen, that you've created, that you're wearing, just like you put your clothes on every day. You put your perceptions on consciously or unconsciously. And when you're wearing what you want, the way you want, feels good. This Sunday I went to do the services at the center, and more frequently my wife, who's my fashion coordinator, tends to pick out the colors and ties and suits for me to wear. It's something I so enjoy. It's not as if I can't do it for myself, but I so enjoy it. And she does such a good job of it. Trust me. I just constantly, it's a great shirt. That's a great tie. That's great. Every time I've got to give her credit, right? Well, she had picked the suit Sunday. She had picked the shirt, and she was going through the ties, and I said, no, that one right there. I happened to be standing there, and she's looking through them, and so that one. She says, well, I don't know. I said, yeah. She said, okay, well, we put it on. I got so many compliments on Sunday. I'm not concerned about the compliments. The point was, there was a part of me that noticed for a moment that tie would fit or work. It wasn't even part of what I normally do, right? I saw something. I stopped. I looked. I listened to myself, to what was happening. Oh, it's something simple like a tie. I know. But isn't that what life really is? Just one instance after another that we get to look at, see for what it is, and choose. And we begin to incorporate in our lives the things that matter the things that we enjoy, the things that we want to be able to express and experience. Oh, I know, I can hear you now, but you don't understand. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. This is that. That is this. Life has me. Yes, yes, we can create that garment. We can create that way of seeing things. Absolutely. We can. We do. It's more of a continuous, you've heard it's not the destination, it's the journey. It just, each phase, each day, each hour, it's just another chance to take another look. And if you got an avalanche that just occurred and you're in the middle of a bunch of emotions and your mind's not clear, or you've got circumstances and situations, or you just had a loss or a windfall, yeah, you have these waves that come through that you've got to deal with. And hopefully you take a look at what's going on and you make your way through and you get to where you are right now, wherever that is. And if you're someplace that you're struggling and you're having a problem, give me a call. You know, people say, well, you know, I don't want to bother sharing. Nobody's going to listen. I'm one of those that'll listen because it matters to me that people get to experience their freedom. That's part of who I am, not just what I do. That's why I'm doing this show. So I thought it was kind of cool that I picked the tie. And I think 6 or 7 comments, I'm not saying everybody in the place said, you know, what an amazing tie. But I thought it was interesting that the one time I decided to pick my tie, people really were and I took credit. I got to tell you, oh, my wife picked the shirt, but I picked the tie. It sounds silly, but I'm just a little boy chasing a butterfly in my backyard. And when I'm doing that, I'm not escaping. I'm not running away. I'm really tapping into the place in me that matters, no matter what's going on in my life. And so freedom, wow. I'm a very busy man. You'll hear everybody say that, oh, you're too busy. I don't want to bother you. And I'm constantly trying to correct. So anybody who's listening, yes, I'm busy, and no, I'm not too busy. I'll do everything I can to shift my schedule around to accommodate everybody that wants to speak with me or see me. I am amazing. And I'm not doing that to pat myself on the back. I was going to say, I'm not amazing. You know, we're all amazing. And when we come together for the right reasons and in the right ways, we make a difference in each other's lives. So if I can do that, let me know. And I keep myself very busy. I've been able to create garments and ways in my work, in who I am, a minister and pastor at Sarasota Center of Light, and teacher and medium, healer, writer, you know, counselor, so many different things. I do dozens of funerals, and it sounds like, oh my God, Jim, you're doing funerals. You just do not know the beauty of being with a family and the freedom that it feels to be able to bring to them a celebration that makes a difference for someone they love so very deeply. We can look at life the way we choose to. I experience freedom when I do celebrations of life for the individuals and the families that need it. You just don't know. You can only see what you can see and be who you are. So as I came to the end of last year, I found myself in a situation where my wife approached me and said, my girlfriend Angela in Scotland is having a birthday. Her boyfriend thinks we'd make the best gift for her. He's offering to fly us over there to be a birthday present for Angela. Well, Jacqueline, my wife, and Angela are as close as you get, and Angela's just a blast. She's just so much fun. So this started a series of circumstances that ended up being a